Hello everyone! So today we are going to be doing a video that many of you have kind of asked me about, a topic that some people are very passionate about, curious about, confused about, and that is labeling claims. Now, what we are going to be talking about today is not the back of the label, but the front of the label. So just to start off, I am Gina. I am a nutrition student at UCCS. If you're watching this video for the first time, many of you know me, maybe you don't, but this is something I became very passionate about myself after reading the book Salt, Sugar, Fat by, oh my gosh, forgot the author. I'll get back to that and put that in the comments. But very good book, talks about marketing, all the different ways that laws help companies get around labeling claims, how they convince consumers to choose their product, because the front of the label is what you see before you even look at the nutrition facts and the tiny little ingredient list that's on the back. And so with that, let us get into some of the most talked about or suggested claims that I have got from some of you. Alright, so just to start out, lies, truth, kind of gets swung around a lot once you hear about what all these different meanings can actually mean. It's not all straightforward. Like example, the picture on this cage-free eggs. They're nice, they're roaming around, they're in the sunlight. That's not what cage-free means necessarily. It's a little misleading, it seems like. So, are we being lied to? Are these terms the truth? I mean, the USDA government has its own seal. Are they lying too? So it can be a gray area. A lot of these places have different certification agencies, different technicalities. The law can mean different things. What companies really do is they follow consumer trends. That is their main thing that they do. So when consumers want animal rights, they want their animals to be better taken care of, companies are going to put these certain claims on things like the organic movement to kind of convince you to buy their products, even if it's not necessarily what you picture when you picture that product. Selling first, health second is kind of what marketing and products are being sold with in mind. All right. Pardon me for 1 second. Don't mind my skeleton in the background. His name is Jerry. He'll be my co-presenter today. So, first one that kind of got me started with this. So, story time. A little background. One of my family members actually asked me about this. They said, why does this product say 0 fat, no fat at all in it, but when you look at the total servings on the package, there's like 3 grams of fat? How does that work? And she came to me looking for a scientific answer, something saying, well, some kind of molecule magic or something we'll call it. But truth is, it's just marketing. There is loopholes in the laws that if it's 0.5 grams or less of fat per serving, companies are allowed to say 0 grams. They are allowed to put fat-free on the label. Makes it look good, right? Fat-free, you want that. This is what, amazing, there's no fat at all in this product. And that's per serving. Whole package, completely different. There can be several grams of fat. Very misleading, but it's marketing. But, bright news, changing food labels have made this easier to understand. So a lot of the new food labels, they will have a section of per serving, and they'll do the math for you that on the other side of the column, it'll actually be per package. So instead of it just saying 0 grams of fat, and you having to do the math with no technicalities on how to do it, if it already says 0 grams, 0 times 5 is still 0. If there's 5 servings, it'll actually tell you, by doing the math for you, there's 3 grams in there. Or there's 2.5 grams. Because that, they are required by law to put on the label. So having that already calculated per package amount is actually helping consumers understand that there is more fat in their packages than they may realize. So the next one we're going to talk about is eggs. Now this is something that I definitely get a lot of questions on. Most of the people that I talked to before doing this video, this was one of their top questions. They really think cage-free eggs are just out in the open, roaming fields, and this is something that people will justify spending 4, 5, 6 times the amount of money on for better treated animals. But, again, not necessarily what you think it is. So, for definition, regular caged hens, which is still most of the hens and egg-laying hens in the United States, they have about 67 inches, I believe, of like square inches, not like in each direction. It is 67 square inches of space. They're confined to that cage. They never see daylight. They are just stuck in place. So you think cage-free. They have places to roam. They have so much space. They aren't stuck in these little cages. Not necessarily. They only actually get 1 square foot per hen. And last time I saw a hen, it was about 1 square foot itself. They are definitely getting larger these days, it seems, with the way that we are breeding them. But it really isn't all that much better. They can walk around, but they're in such tight spaces and groups, they can't really move anyways. And they don't really see the light of day. So then we go on to the next claim, free range. Now this sounds even better. They're not in cages, they're free range. They can roam around. And that's in 2 square foot of space per hen. So still, maybe they can take a few steps in either direction. They might have some access to the outdoors, but they are so jammed into these spaces, like in this picture here, they really can't go anywhere. They're lucky if they see the light of day. If they find the small little 1 square foot hole in the door that maybe lets them out for a couple minutes. There's still so many that are packed together, and disease can spread easily this way. I mean, they don't really get much exercise. It's not as great as it seems. And people are still paying $4 for a carton of eggs, or even $6, $7 a carton of eggs, compared to the regular hen or cage-raised hens. And I mean, maybe it's a little bit more worth it, for sure, but it's still a bit misleading to consumers. So last one that we have here is pasture raised. Now, I do myself have some. After doing research, it actually was less expensive than some of the free range and cage-free eggs, and it comes from smaller family-based farms. So it's better for local agricultural practices, and it's better for the hens. And I got this at King Soopers, one of the King Soopers that some of my, I don't want to say followers, even though this is on YouTube. Some of the people that I interviewed before this, they shop at similar King Soopers in the area, stuff like that. So this is actually a reasonable product that I found to be within my budget. I know a lot of our budgets are tight right now, especially with COVID. But at Walmart, there was organic free-range eggs, and they were about $7 for 12 large grade A eggs. And as we remember, that's only 2 square foot per hen for 7 times the price. So knowing these terms can not only help you make more ethical decisions, I mean in regards to your animal's health and happiness, but also for your wallet and your budget. Alright, so on to the big one. This is a big hype right now, organics. So it has to meet specific criteria and standards to be able to have this USDA organic seal. As you can see right here, this is what it looks like. On a lot of products like this, you have the big organic term right there, and then you have the tiny little seal right here in the bottom corner. So you don't technically have to meet the USDA standards for organic to actually put that on your products. There are alternate agencies that you can get certified through. They don't have necessarily as strict criteria to have the seal, but it's still technically allowed, even if it doesn't meet the criteria. Just because it says organic doesn't necessarily mean it's completely organic or certified through rigorous standards like the USDA seal is. But this still gets tricky, even as this is one of the most specific, most strict criteria you have to meet for labeling laws. It still gets kind of iffy in some areas. So, for example, if it's made with organic ingredients, you're going to sit there and say, yeah, it has the seal, it's organic. Not quite. It has to be at least 70% to be able to say it's made with organic ingredients. So 3/4 of your lettuce may be organic. 1/4 is not. Not quite worth justifying the price sometimes, but maybe it is to you. Can't say it's not worth it. That's just personal opinion. But it's definitely misleading in some sense. So to get that plain old organic seal you see up in the right-hand corner of the screen, that is not 100% either, actually. So you can have organic on a product like this one right here, and if it does not say 100% on it, it's not 100%. It has to be made with at least 95%, which is still really good. That's still a really high number. But if you are trying to go truly 100% organic, you have to look for that 100% organic seal. All right, another fun one that I love, sodium. Okay, I had to make sure I didn't skip one. Now, sodium, I'm big on. It is over-consumed in the U.S. population. Lots of hypertension, I'm sorry, tripping over my own words now. It is hidden in so many products. There is more confusion around this term in addition to the rest. And a lot of people I spoke to before I did this did not realize either how much sodium was in their food or what the terms surrounding sodium mean. Because reduced sodium and low sodium, what is the difference? That most people, that means nothing to them. It just means there's less salt. But how much is less? How low is it? Lots of confusion, and it doesn't really say that on our labels on foods. So you kind of have to either know the labeling laws, either constantly look it up what all these terms mean, and it gets confusing. So to go over that a little bit, no salt added. Pretty simple, straightforward. There is no salt that is added to the product. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that it is a no-salt food. And they do have to put this on the label, but they don't necessarily have to make it very prominent or in very large font. So it can be kind of a bit of a treasure hunt trying to find that. So they kind of get away with a little bit by, they have to put it on the label, but they don't necessarily have to put it in large print. It can be an asterisk at the bottom. So no salt added does not mean no salt. They are two separate things. So now reduced sodium, it means at least 25% less than the regular product. So for example, I have soy sauce here. Now reduced sodium and less sodium, same thing. Low sodium, not the same. We'll go over that in a second. So this, you can see right here, soy sauce, or maybe you can't see, it might be kind of hard. It says less sodium. And it even has right down here, it has 36% less sodium than the regular great value soy sauce. And you think, wow, that's great. 36%? That is so much lower. It's not until you get to the back that you realize that 25% of your daily sodium intake is still in this. And that's only for 1 tablespoon. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm eating Chinese food, egg rolls, all that stuff, I love soy sauce. I really do. I will load on my soy sauce because I only have it occasionally, but I love it. It is such a good flavor to me. But it really is, I still find misleading that there is 1/4 of your day's worth of sodium in just 1 tablespoon. Like a large spoonful, one of those little packets they give you at the Chinese food places when you get takeout, stuff like that. You could easily exceed half of your day's worth, if not a full day's worth of sodium in 1 meal by using something like this. And it makes you feel good because it says less sodium, and it's better that it has lower sodium, but it's still a little bit on the misleading side. they kind of construe that healthy thought process to you when they put terms like this on products. So last is low sodium. Now, what on earth is the difference between low and reduced sodium? Well, low sodium is actually pretty freaking low. So I have this right here. It's another product that I bought. It is free range. Not the best for the chicken still. It's only 2 square foot. But it is low sodium chicken broth. This, per serving, only has 6% of your daily sodium value. In technical terms, it's 140 milligrams or less to qualify for the label claim of low sodium. You see how they highlight that? They have blue font around that term. Free range is huge. They really want to sell you on this stuff, I swear. It's marketing in real life. But low sodium, a little bit better than reduced. Reduced just means there's less. Usually it's a pretty high sodium product like the bacon in this picture, so they're trying to make it seem healthier, lowering that sodium for people. But low sodium, it is what it is. It's low. It's relatively low compared to most products, like regular chicken stock compared to this, anywhere from like 25% of your daily sodium to 50-60% of your daily sodium the last time I checked it out at the store. So just something to consider. Let's see, do we have anything else? No, we'll go back one. All right, so just to close out with you guys, I hope this has been educational, maybe even fun. Maybe not as exciting as it is for me, but I hope this kind of helps you when you are going through the aisles at the grocery store, picking out products, justifying what fits into your budget, what doesn't, what ethically works for you. Maybe you've been buying cage-free eggs for triple the price and you're kind of going, maybe that one more extra dollar is worth it for the pasture-raised, because one extra dollar means an extra 100 and some feet for those chickens to roam around and eat good food that's natural for them. But overall, I hope you've learned something from this. I hope this helps a lot, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I just want to say thank you for listening, and that is all. Farewell, everyone.